So let's
Okay.
go. So
Yeah, sounds perfect.
AMA with sorcery. Okay. So sorcery. So as you uh, wrote here, it is an all-in-one DeFi ecosystem focused on providing with powerful tools to help users make better investments. Powered by your native token SOR, you utilize various utilities including seamless trading on various networks, charting on 15 plus networks, contract security scanners, and AI assistants, and more. So you have a lot of things that has been developed here and will be developing as I see. Okay. So
Yep.
Cole, could you give us before we start talking about sorcery, could you give us a brief introduction about yourself? What is your background when it comes to developing? And what made you decide to start up a project like sorcery?
Yeah, of course. So I first off just want to thank each and every one of you for taking your time out of this busy market to come and listen to what we've made and some of our future plans. So a little bit about myself is I'm currently a self-taught developer. I joined crypto in around 2017, and I initially started trading on Avalanche and Ethereum tokens. Over time, I've realized, the true value of what, crypto has to offer in terms of you can be your own bank. You don't have to rely on any secondary or third party. And I truly see how this can be, innovative for the long term and for the future of, every single person around the world. So, the borderless payments, borderless transfers, all of these things are incredibly important and the ethos of crypto in itself. So I originally started Sorcery as I was actually a victim of multiple scams, many projects that were, the founders really didn't care for what they were making. All they cared about was the money side, where for me, I just want to build something that truly makes a difference. So Sorcery came about a year and a half ago. I thought of the idea as I love like fantasy. So that's where the name Sorcery came up. I was Googling domain names, and I saw that Sorcery wasn't taken for not only Twitter, but for Instagram, for the domain itself. So I instantly, bought the domain, took all of the social media accounts with the username. That way, we would have, the full rights to those usernames. And then basically it's been, a long process since we started. Our product started with very simply with just tracking pairs on a couple of networks. And each and every day we've been focused on trying to innovate our product, improve it, put the focus on the users before anything else, as that's going to be key for our long-term success, is appealing to those who are using our platform. What benefits can we provide the user outside other platforms? So that's something we've been focusing on. And of course, like you said, we have all kinds of utilities, from tracking pairs to trading to having a built-in AI assistant to help you with your trades. All of these things we have developed with the mindset of how can we help users make better investments. And that, I think, is something that is super important long term, especially within this space, as there's a lot of scams, there's a lot of projects that don't do much, and it's really hard to navigate, especially as people who are more new to the space or beginners in the space. So that's something we definitely wanted to really focus on.
All right. So you mentioned, I mean, you said you have tracking pairs, scanners, and AI assistants. Now, what do you think is the main selling point of your project?
Yeah, I definitely think it will be the trading and the facilitating of trading of different tokens. So currently we offer trading, full trading on BSC, and this weekend we are releasing this on Ethereum as well. So the main point of like offering our trading is we want to provide the tools where users can make seamless trades while also using our other tools such as pair tracking, the AI assistant. So then this way, users don't have to navigate to 5 or 10 different websites, have to know where to go, where to look for certain things. It all will be under one roof and one website where we can provide as much value as possible for the trader. So then they don't necessarily need to rely on all these different resources.
Like, basically, you're saying that you want to provide everything to them in just one website, and they won't go anywhere else. Mhm.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, you have some competitors here, right? Actually, I've
Mm-hmm.
seen a couple of more that has that offers the same utilities. Now, what do you think will be your edge to them?
Yeah, so I think our edge will definitely be one of like the key selling points for trading on our platform over others is we offer lower fees. So we have low fees for trading on many different pairs, and also especially coming for our Ethereum pairs, we will have no AMM fee. This means we pretty much interact directly with the router. So this obviously is more beneficial to the user as all of these other AMMs, they take a small portion of all of your trades. And we focused on our Solidity contracts. So the contracts, for anyone who's not familiar, that facilitate the trading. We focused on providing the best quality trades. So whenever you go and you click the button and you input the amount of tokens you want to swap, say BNB for, our contract will automatically, with auto slippage, find you the best pricing possible for your pair while also maintaining either low fees or no fees. So we think this will be a huge edge in the long term as we simply are just much cheaper than other platforms.
So no fees, really? So how do we make money with zero fees?
Yeah. So over time, so we do have certain pairs that we take fees, and it's as little as 0.05% for like stable to stable pairs, 0.1% or 0.15% for stable to blue chip, and then wild pairs. I think it's up to 1%. And then for certain other pairs, we do not take any fee. And that is something also too we can always in the future change. But we truly feel that the need for bringing in a mass audience and truly scaling to another level is we need to offer these sort of incentives and differences to our platform. Because if we were to say offer the standard 0.3% fee on top of what they're already taking from, like, say, pancake swap routing or uniswap routing, I truly don't think we would stand out enough. And that's something that a lot of these other platforms are doing. So that's something we definitely have truly thought a lot about. And it's something we can always too change in the future. It's just simply updating our contract ABIs, the contracts itself, and then pretty much redeploying any new contract on a specific network that we want. So fees pretty much are fully customizable for us. But yeah, we truly feel we want to focus on scaling our product first before we focus on, nitpicking for, the true believers of our product. So we don't want to do that.
Gotcha. Now, while browsing through your documents, I saw revenue sharing there.
Mhm.
Now, revenue sharing is a really good way to earn passive income as well. So, how does it work, man?
Yeah. So another portion of our revenues outside our trading is a project listings, as well as we also have a trading tax on our token. So a percentage of uh, any buys and sells, we earn obviously the fees, as well as the listing, we charge a listing fee. And that's for anyone, and I'll just explain this now. Listing on our DApp allows you to list your coin as searchable, as well as your logo appears on our DEX. So this is another way that users can promote their own token on our platform. But a percentage of our revenues that we earn goes back to buying back our token and burning it. So we obviously, when we buy back, this increases the price of the tokens, as well as when it's burnt, obviously the team can't sell, nobody has access to those tokens. So over time, your position is only growing. And that's what is pretty innovative about Sorcery is it's a net deflationary token. We don't offer staking where, staking is heavily inflationary for many tokens. Your position will only get more scarce. The tokens will only get more scarce over time. So we really focus on this as we have around over 10% of our supply already bought back and burnt, which I think right now correlates to over, I think like $4,000 we've burnt so far at our current pricing. So we're really going to focus long term on making sure our token remains deflationary, as well as the people who are, firm believers and the ones who buy in and support us now, their tokens will be worth that much more over time. I'm not sure if I lost you or not, but yeah. So pretty much, since it's deflationary as well, this also opens up the opportunity for users as as our token becomes more scarce. Obviously, for anyone not familiar, the liquidity pool every time you buy back, it gets smaller and smaller. So we hope as well to long term, or not even long term, kind of short term, within the next 6 to 12 months, we can start to try and experience a supply shock, which would be very exciting for our token.
So I can see here also that the the address is you are transparent here because you showed the wallet address and everyone can check how much has been generated and how much is coming into your project.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so before we go to the questions, do you want to mention any more major utilities that you have here in Sorcery?
Yeah. So I'll actually too, in like a minute or two, I'll send a couple previews in the chat, just videos of the different utilities. So anyone who's not familiar or has seen them can take a look as well. But we also have many smaller utilities that all kind of work to coordinate with Sorcery. So we have a send feature. So this is a feature that we implemented that allows project owners, that allows users to send Sorcery tokens as well as any other token safely and securely to any desired wallet. So I don't know if anyone's familiar. If you send tokens, it's so easy to copy and paste the wrong address. It's so easy to missend the amount of tokens. So on our DApp, we created an easy way that stops human error. It has additional checks for your transfers. So this is something that we as a project use whenever we transfer tokens to anyone, as it's really important to make sure you're not only transferring to the correct address, but you're also transferring the right amount of tokens. We also offer a burn utility, which this is mainly for project owners. And what we're going to want to capitalize on is, as like we said earlier, deflationary tokens truly are the future of crypto. Inflationary tokens have been proven over time to not work. So we really want to push other projects to use our platform to safely burn their tokens and their project tokens. And as always, this is another thing that also goes back to the fees. Eventually, we plan on implementing a fee to burn, but burn safely, as well as they can earn incentives for burning, such as sorcery tokens or BNB, or any sort of token for using our platform. So that's that. We also have, for users who want to track their portfolio, we have a portfolio section and a Lambo calculator. So this is like an innovative way users can implement the amount of tokens they hold. And then based on the market cap growth or retraction of our token price, they can see what their tokens would be worth, speculatively speaking. But it's just, just another fun little feature users can use. And then the last thing we have is on our outside of our DEX, we have advanced trading for certain pairs. And this is where we have basically set up a way for users to trade in a more different style UI that's focused on security at like the swap step. So a lot of times you can view all the security info that you would view, say, using our platform, using DEX Screen or using DEX tools. Any kind of security feature you can view at the swap step. It's sort of formatted more as a perpetual exchange. Obviously, it's just normal trading, but it's a completely different UI that's focused on the user. You can track the exact amount of tokens in your wallet that you're holding while you're trading. So this is just another thing that we're going to focus on growing as well over time, where, for certain popular pairs, trending pairs, some of our listing partners, we will make them into advanced trading pairs as well.
Are there requirements to access the advanced trading?
Yes. So it's if you click the dashboard on our DApp, it will bring you to a page that pretty much is just our almost like our landing page for our advanced trading. And from there, you can select any pair, and it will bring you to the actual pairs. Here, I'll send an example as well in the group of what this kind of looks like for anyone. I'll send just a bunch of previews of different features. And let's see here. Okay, so I just sent a bunch. I also sent a preview of the wallet scanner. This is we kind of love this feature because this is the wallet scanner is one of the most innovative features we have, as it can detect not only wallets that have been part of honeypots, rug pulls, interacted with the dark web, any sort of malicious activity. You literally can just input any EVM wallet address, and it can notify you about what the wallet has done in the past. So we sent that as a preview as well.
Wow. Wallet scanner is good. Does it detect also the previous deployments of that wallet?
I don't believe so. I don't believe it tracks. Well, it tracks the previous deployments, but it doesn't necessarily display them on our DApp. That's probably something you'd have to manually, go on, say, BSC scan, Ether scan to see. But it does detect if the wallet was interacting with a past honeypot, or if it did any sort of malicious activity. It will detect you with a yes or no, which will be like a check mark or an X.
All right, sounds really cool. I will I will check that out later. So yeah, you mentioned that there will be some requirements for the advanced trading. So what do I need to access that? Do I need to hold a certain amount of sorcery tokens, or do I have to pay by native tokens, or do I have to pay by BNB?
Yeah, so right now it's currently the advanced trading is completely open to everyone. Anyone can use it the exact same way as you'd say use our DEX. All you need to do is just connect your wallet and you'd be allowed to trade. Now that's something we've also thought about over time is different revenue models. If we wanted to say token gate our platform or certain features of our platform, that's definitely something that we could do, although we still believe, because we are considered still a very small project, so we truly believe that what we need to focus on now, especially as we keep building and our product is being more finalized, we need to focus on scaling and really getting those long-term believers and users to truly use our platform, because we want to try to scale 5, 10, 20 times what our current trading volumes are, how many website users, all of these things we really want to scale. So this is, we truly feel if we token gated it or added some sort of payment, I think it would just kind of throw people off, where, we're too small of a project to, try to be asking for money where we already have a trading tax where we're earning from as well. So it's just one of those things that we need to really scale as a product and project before we really try to, take any more money, if that makes sense.
Sure. Now there are a lot of people who have questions here, and I see that most of them are from your community. So cool. Let's go to the people who are raising their hands and go through their questions.
Perfect.
Now you are the first one, Chris, Christopher Simone. Okay, you are allowed to speak. Unmute yourself. Hello, Christopher Simone. You're allowed to speak.
Welcome, Chris. Oh.
Okay. All right, so let's go back to Christopher later.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
moving on to Josiah. Josiah, you're allowed to speak.
All right, all right. Thanks a lot for the opportunity. So,
I think you might be cutting out. I'm not sure if you're
hey,
talking now.
hello. Sorry, am I audible now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Am I audible now? Sorry. All right, all right. Thanks a lot for the opportunity, man. So, straight to my question. I see you have a multi-chain swap. So, first of all, my question is, has the swap contracts been audited to, find any contract errors or vulnerability that could, lead to attack? Then, secondly, for every swap, there has to be liquidity and asset pools to ensure a seamless and fast trading, right? So, and we know there are three kinds of asset pools. We have the public pool, where
Yeah, I think you just cut out, but that was a really good question. So our contracts right now are swap
oh,
contracts.
oh,
they're currently unaudited. We actually just got recently done by Skeleton our token contract. So that is now audited, and you can find that in this channel as well as in our channel. But in terms of talking about our swap contracts, we operate as an AMM model, which is very innovative in the space of DeFi, as this doesn't require us to have to supply the native pools for the token. So for example, if you go on any of the popular charting sites, ours included, you'll see the pairs are deployed on PancakeSwap, Uniswap, Trader Joe, any sort of these big popular, companies. So pretty much how the AMM model works is we interact directly with those pools. So this allows us to not have to supply that initial liquidity of the pools, which allows us to, users can interact directly using our platform. So this obviously for newer projects, for new startups, the cost is significantly less, as it's mainly just a development cost where we don't have to necessarily supply those initial pools. And to finish your question as well, we plan on auditing our swap contracts, although we eventually plan on deploying many more, because we want to have multiple networks outside just, say, BNB, Ethereum, and AVAX. So we kind of plan, once we have pretty much all of our contracts done, then we can go in and get audits done, because a lot of the contracts will also be replicated on each network. So we have to, kind of be smart and mindful of, because it costs money to audit things. So, we have to be very smart about, what we're spending and how we go about auditing these things.
All right. So lastly, please, before I leave, for the security, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me? All right. So, for the security of the investors and to keep the reputation of Sorcery, right? Are there any requirements to be met by projects that want to advertise on your platform? Like for instance, team KYC or contract audits, token renounce, and that's for already launched projects. So, are there any requirements to be met by a project that wants to advertise on your platforms? Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. So like you've probably seen on other platforms, they'll list any token, they'll promote any token, and there's really no sort of like limits to what that is. Us as a team, we kind of focus on, is this product something that I personally would buy? If that question is no, then a lot of times we will mention to the project and say, hey, we noticed this about your coin, whether it's not renounced or the tax is too high, and say, hey, if you lower your trading tax, we're happy to list with you. Or we can even mention saying, we don't trust that your coin has been only launched a week. Please come back to us in a couple weeks or a month. That way, it's a serious project. So that is a good question. So no, we do not list every single project. We do have the option for users to pay for their project instantly for a listing. But if that's the case where the project seems like a scam or it seems very dangerous for our users and investors, we will just simply refund their money and will not list their coin.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, of
All
course. I
right. Thanks a
appreciate
lot
these
for the
questions.
answer, and thanks, Brooke. Thanks for yeah. Thank you.
Well,
Thanks a
Of
lot,
course.
Brooke.
very, very nice answer, man. So cool, good job there. I really like the fact that when we were running projects too, when people ask to be listed in our platform, we always remove when we see that they are scams or they did something which is unacceptable. So
Hmm.
that's just like playing it fair. It's not really about money; it's about the reputation as well that we are doing.
I completely agree with you and that's like and there's both sides of the argument. Like, oh, true decentralization is, anyone can launch and list a project, blah, blah, blah. But truly, I look at it as we're private companies that own our own platform. So I truly believe that any platform that is run by a certain entity has the right to, refuse deliberate scams or major problems with coins. So I completely agree with you.
All right, now let's go to the next question. Another love. Your lads.
Hi, bro.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Share plug. Greetings to you. All right. Moving straight to my question.
Okay.
I want to ask, based on a general level, about you launching your project on multi-chain. We all know it's a very nice thing to do. Like, it's cool. Based on this, it will kind of help your project to get more visibility, more diversification, and also let the big players, Ethereum big players, to come into the project. But no, my worry is based on some few things. Like, I want to know if you have actually considered a kind of uh, vulnerabilities that might tend to come into this project based on the multi-chain level and also the complexity in terms of navigation for your users and also in your own side, the maintenance.
Yeah, of course. So in terms of security, we've taken our time and spent a lot of time developing our contracts. We also had a contracted part-time developer who also assisted us with the creation of our swap contracts. We have certain features such as overflow and underflow to make sure that any sort of vulnerabilities will not be possible on these swap contracts. And like you said, you mentioned going multi-chain. That's something that we've highly also considered. But over time, we've just realized that if we can truly deliver, a top quality product, I don't think it necessarily matters what network you're on. You could be on an obscure network that no one's really heard of. You could be on the biggest network, Ethereum. You could be on Solana. I think the bottom line is if you can deliver enough value to the users, um, regardless of the network you're on, people will eventually come. And that's going to be our goal because, like you said, if we go multiple networks, have multiple different contracts, this opens up, right, vulnerabilities as any small mistake of, say, a brand new deployment. Say we launch and someone's able to scoop up a ton of our supply. These are very, dangerous things for the longevity of our project. So that's why we've gone back and forth, pros and cons. We see both sides, absolutely. But I think bottom line is we want to really focus on delivering our product to the best we possibly can. And then maybe one day in the future, say we feel we've exhausted all of our options for, say BSC, we can look into going on another network. But as of now, we don't really have definitive plans to ever, say, migrate, if that makes sense.
Sure, sure. Honestly, I'm fulfilled with your in-depth explanations, and to be honest with you, I'm glad and I'm actually bullish on this project. Oh well, Brooke, thank you for the opportunity, and I will actually follow up on the project's Telegram. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for the great question.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's I think a few more questions. Oh, there's a lot too in the AMA questions. Wow.
Yeah, but let's prioritize those people who are raising their hands.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
so here, let's go to Adebayo.
Good day, Brooke. Good day, Cole. Thank you for this opportunity.
Of course.
I must say it's a nice project you have there.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so my question is about your revenue sharing. Is there a minimum amount to hold to be eligible for revenue? And I saw that you have 5 different kinds of revenue sources, which are trading tax, swap fees, advertisements, project listings, pre-sale ICO listing, and each one has a different price ranging from $200 to $500. So my question is, how many percentage of the revenue from each source goes to the holders?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So right now we have a maximum of 2% max wallet, and we had 1% actually for the longest time for around 8 months. We had a 1% max wallet limit. We're now at a 2% limit. So for our buybacks and burns, this means that whenever you're holding, the maximum you could hold is say 2% of our supply. So obviously the ones who are holding the majority of the supply, they get the most benefit from the burns because, of course, they have the most money invested. But 30% approximately of our revenues goes to buybacks and burns.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you, Brooke. Thank you for the
Yeah,
opportunity.
definitely. Of course.
All right, last question here before we go to the questions and answer group. So, Thames D, you're allowed to speak. All right, I guess terrible connection again.
Hey.
Oh,
Hi.
hey, Thames, how are you?
Good day. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can.
In utilities, you have a swap platform advertisement platform where people will need to pay the use of your service. Will SQL be used as the main payment token, or it will be used to pay fees, or payments will be made using stable coins and other altcoins like USDT, Ethereum, BNB, so and the likes? Like what exactly is the use of SQL in social ecosystem aside buying and selling it for profit? Thanks.
Yeah, that's a good question. So for legality reason, why we've decided to do buyback and burns is we are from a country that's very strict on cryptocurrency and operating securities. So it's actually against the law for us, or it would be considered against the law for us to pay out in a native stable coin or any other asset where say like Ethereum or BNB in terms of revenue sharing. Now, buybacks and burns, obviously, I could go on for a while, but it is a bit of more of a gray area of legality reasons, which is why we decided to go with it. So that's one of the main reasons why we decided to go with the buyback and burn method, where users holders gain value over time, rather than directly paying out people via stablecoin or whatnot.
Okay. I meant SQL, not SOR. My bad.
Yeah, that's okay. And to answer the other part of your question, yeah, the main benefit is, of course, holding SOAR, you get access to our revenue sharing. Eventually, obviously, as well, we will implement more fee mechanisms for our trades, but right now that's not our focus. So basically, owning SOAR is more so getting access to the revenues coming to our platform, as well as obviously too, if you use the product over time, we're going to have continued support and continued offerings for our long-term holders. So there's really benefit over time for holding SOAR, since the supply of sorcery that's available also continually decreases.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I really do appreciate.
Of course. Yeah, thank you for your question.
Yeah.
All right. So Chris really have a good question right here, and since he can't ask it by himself, I'll do the honor. So I'll ask the question. So his question is he correct in saying that your phishing URL scanner is crypto's newest and most advanced website scanner? Although there are no scanner that can catch 100% of the phishing attempts, and that this is different from the wallet scanner, right? Meaning
Yes.
each is separate utility. So the phishing scanner detects by URL and the wallet scanner by contract. Also, are fees from the transactions that occur in the sorcery swap an income for the sorcery itself, or it will go to another provider?
Yeah, so those are two fantastic questions. So to start with the scanner, it is indeed a very innovative feature. Now, this feature is, like he said, it's not 100% detectable for each phishing URL. So I don't know if anyone's familiar, but with contracts, you see how some contracts can be hidden. The source code can be hidden. So on non-open source websites that are, trying to scam people, our scanner will not be able to detect these kinds of sites, as the source code that the phishing URL tries to detect cannot detect, of course, hidden source code. So a lot of times these websites and these scammers, they create new URLs, new domain names. They change their ownership to hidden, because we read whenever, and to try to keep this, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible and not too in depth, but whenever a scammer tries to scam someone, it requires you to connect your wallet. Now, when you connect your wallet to those sites, those scammers themselves deploy a contract, and this is a malicious contract. Now, most scammers, if they're innovative and smart, they have their contract as hidden source code. They constantly modify it. They have an upgradable proxy contract. These contracts are what interact with your wallet when you go onto their site and make the mistake of connecting. So our site tries to detect any possible ways that these scammers made a mistake by keeping their source code open, by detecting past malicious activity, as well as if their contract isn't a proxy contract, our scanner will 100% detect it. But with that being said, you are absolutely correct that a lot of websites, if done correctly by the scammer, we cannot detect because it's completely hidden source code. And to do the second part of the question, yes. So eventually, we plan on routing our swap revenue to our treasury, which this will pretty much go into the same way as our buyback and burn method. So then everyone who is using our platform, they also get that additional benefit of every time they swap, it goes back to pretty much themselves, as all of the revenue that we're generating from the swap, 30% of that will be bought back and burnt. So therefore, they're pretty much creating an ecosystem within itself to trade, and they earn the benefit, where other platforms, they simply just, take the money and that's it. Where with us, we want to also provide that additional benefit. So once we have our full contracts deployed and ready, yes, we do plan on eventually transferring all of our fees to our treasury wallet.
So it will. So for the second part of the question, there is a part that is going to you, to make it clear, right? So that
Yes.
is revenue sorcery. Okay. Now, here last question from Willie. So he wants to ask about additional review utilities, like you said in V2. So it seems like this has been talked about in Sorcery group. So looking at the few weeks, there seems to be a correlation between volume spikes and price movements. For example, a significant spike in the volume occurs when the price reaches the resistance level. So how does Sorcery ensure scalability so that the platform can handle increasing number of users without overloading the system? And will there be migration or not? Or V2 is just about dApps? Because in his opinion, a project like Sorcery should not think about releasing its contract. That would be a very big mistake. Also, some reasons many people also some reasons many projects have V2 since they can't fix the known issues, they have been abandoned. Please give your feedback.
Yeah, of course. So originally we deployed on V2 because at the time when we deployed, V3 was mainly for liquidity providers and providing additional benefits and value for liquidity providers. This, we feel, eventually we can add a V3 pair, as it wouldn't necessarily be too challenging, as we have a percentage of reserves in our treasury wallet if we ever needed to add another pair or wanted to. So that's one thing that we have in mind that we can always do. And I always want to mention that the full customability of our platform is all based on user feedback. It's all based on what we believe will be for, the long-term benefit and sustainability of our platform. So these are all something that we can absolutely consider. And in terms of like overloading the site or our contracts being live, we believe it's important that we have our contracts live and completely open source, as not only is this great for other developers who may want to use our contracts, but it's also good just for users who are able to see that our contracts are safe, that there's nothing hidden. They can view the contract methods, read the contract methods, and everything is right in front of them to view. Whereas, well, even for example, Uniswap, PancakeSwap, they're the same way. Their contracts are all open source because we truly believe open source code is going to be, really important going forward for, the innovation of DeFi as a whole. So that's one thing. And then for the website, in terms of scalability, our hosting provider allows us pretty much infinite scaling. We're right now on the basic solution, but they offer significantly more advanced solutions. So as we grow with revenue, as we grow in users, if we find that our site can't handle the traffic, it's becoming slow, or people are having any specific issues, we can always upgrade our plan and upgrade the payments that we're paying each month to host our site to increase for this bandwidth, if that makes sense.
I don't know if it's just me or the website is kind of slow. Maybe my connection or anyone else having the same problem.
Yeah, that's something we can definitely look into. On my end, I think it's also we've been trying to like fix some of the cookie issues. I think it's a lot of that as well. Because if you, for example, like on my phone, I always go on the site. For me, it's like lightning fast. But for anyone who say like it's their first time visiting a page, I've noticed that too, that it once in a while it can be very slow. So we'll look into that too, because that's something obviously we want to make sure it's as fast as we can make it, possibly.
Yeah, especially there's a lot of things going on in that website. It maybe and also a lot of are being tracked. Maybe that's one reason. So optimize it even more.
Right. I agree with you. Right. Because honestly, too, we have a lot of even placeholder pages, like when we're building stuff, that we should probably get rid of as well to increase the speed of everything.
All right. So before we end this AMA session, Cole, do you want to say anything to the people that are listening?
Um, yeah, I mean, in terms of utility, I think we went over it. I'd say the biggest thing is if you're looking for a project that, has a dedicated team, has someone who actually cares for, their community, who, wants to actually build something, greater than themselves, then I'd say this is the project for you. And, I'm never one to force anyone to make any investments. I'm never one to say give false hope or say anything that's not true to what we believe. We don't have a roadmap because we believe that it's more important for us to deliver every single day and update every single day. We mention something that we're doing to benefit the project, where 99% of the other coins in this space, they provide a roadmap and never get to it, or they provide a roadmap and half the things aren't even done, or it takes 2 years to get a single thing done. For us, we're making changes every single day. We're focused on growing our project every day. So we really want to push the point that, there's a difference in the space between devs who care and devs who don't. So that's definitely one thing I want to mention.
All right. So I just want to say here that Sorcery is really one promising project. I see the hard work, the dedication that you are doing here in the project, and I really hope for the best here.
Yeah,
I'm not.
thank you, man.
I don't tell to people whether I invested or not, but this is what I can say. I am always keeping an eye on this project. So,
That's good.
uh,
Yeah, I'm happy to have you, man. It's honestly too. It's good to have just a lot of competent people like in just one group as well. Because even if it's say outside sorcery, we welcome the talk of all different coins. We welcome investment ideas, all that. So it's just a good place to be generally for anything crypto related, similar to obviously Skeleton.
yeah, maybe in the future, we can integrate some features of your bot into ours. Yeah, but that's still. We can talk about that later on as time goes by.
Right. Because
So
I was even, or sorry, I cut you off.
it's okay. Continue, man.
Oh yeah, no, because I was even thinking, I was like, yeah, imagine how cool it would be to like, you have your trending every day of like all different networks, like implementing that, like a button where people can click and see all the trending pairs from Skeleton, and then it directly links to the group. That would be pretty cool too. Or like even like an AI audit that's done by Skeleton, and then it's like overseen by the auditor or something like that. There's honestly the opportunities are really endless.
Yeah, we're living in the technology era, so the possibilities are endless.
Right, it's very exciting.
Alright, so Cole, I'm going to stop the recording now. The
Okay.
recording